Welcome back to Bloom. Finding more free time seems impossible, but our next guest says it's critical for healing and becoming a better you. Joining us now is family therapist Habiba Jessica Zaman, the author of Beautifully Bare, Undeniably You. Welcome to Bloom, Habiba.
Thank you for having me today.
So finding more time, especially for busy women, you think, where do I find it? So how do we get started?
Well, I think it's very important to prioritize it. We never do. Very, very busy women, entrepreneurs, working mothers, even stay-at-home moms. I mean, all of it, right? It's just so difficult to find that time. It has to be prioritized. It has to be fit in.
So how do we start prioritizing?
I think it's very important to first know what it means to you. What does self-care mean to you? We all define it very differently. What might be self-care for me may not be what it is for you or any of my fellow moms out there or fellow women. And so I think it's very important to understand how your definition of self-care aligns with your values of what you're wanting to create in that time for yourself.
Yeah, and a lot of times that means just carving it out intentionally. Like prior to the new year, I knew I wanted to just get more exercise, more cardio in. So I just set the alarm clock an hour earlier than I would typically wake up. And I realized, man, this is actually nice to have this quiet time. It's a little bit dark outside still. And I started the day feeling a lot better. Is that one of the ways that we can, find time for ourselves?
Absolutely. I do think it needs to be scheduled in as something that's important to you, just like we schedule everything else in. I wouldn't make it in life without my calendar these days. So just as we prioritize our clients or work events or anything else in life, we do have to prioritize this time for ourselves. Otherwise, everything else, that we define to be more important takes up the time, like laundry.
Yes.
Or grocery shopping.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And so another thing I think that a lot of us have an issue with is how to say no. So how can we set firm boundaries and maintain them without feeling guilty?
Well, first we have to have this discussion with our family members and the time that's taken in our daily lives and the people that live in it. So for me, it would be either my clients or my coworkers or my children or my significant other. And I have to tell them, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I need this year. This is how I'm going to implement this. And I need you to blank. So for my children, it's this room, actually. This is my room. This is my safe haven. And I tell them, mommy's going to go in here. The glass door is there. You can see that I'm here. If it's an emergency, come get me. Otherwise, this 1 hour belongs to mommy. I'm either going to read or just hide out in here or have my coffee, whatever that might be.
And I agree with you 100%, about setting boundaries. But a lot of times when we do that, we start to feel like a negative emotional response. So how do we process that when we're saying, no, I need my space?
Right. First, it's important to know what that negative response for you is. For me, it's guilt, right? I get the mom guilt or not being productive enough guilt or you name it. All the other shoulds that, are yelling at us in our minds to do this or do that or whatever. And so first identifying what that is for you is very important to be able to then challenge it. So if it's guilt, then I can say, no, self-care is just as necessary for me as it is making sure that the laundry is done or making sure that, the homework's completed and things like that. Everything will be fine in an hour. I have to be able to challenge those negative narratives that I have within myself. And in order to be able to challenge it, we have to first know what it is and see where it's coming from.
And earlier you said that you're big on schedules, you have your calendar, that's how you operate in life, and I agree 100%. Should we schedule in some free time and make that happen?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Whether that's just, like I said, for me, it's just being here for an hour to read or have my coffee or just be silent or listen to my music. It could be something more. It could be something more meaningful. It could be something that's a little bit more necessary. It could be a spa day, for example, or it could be going shopping just by yourself or, having a lunch with your girlfriends or whatever is necessary for you in the moment. You have to identify what these needs are, what they look like, and how you can make them happen, and then schedule them so that it can be done.
All great advice, and what a pleasure it is to meet you. Thank you so much, Habiba, for joining us on Bloom today.
Thank you for having me. This has been very fun.
Yeah, likewise. And if you want to reach Habiba, just email her at habibajzaman@gmail.com. We'll be back with more Bloom right after this. Stick around.